Just as I thought. He's been planning this for some time.
How do you mean he wants us to strike?
No better time for it, is there?
What with Christmas coming up now?
Aye. And all the overtime you've been working.
So he could get stocks up.
He thinks because you've got no organisation, you'll give in easy.
Well, he don't know us then, does he?
Gaffers always underestimate workers' will to fight. Happen as well, or we'd never win out.
Do you think we'll win this one?
Hard to tell, lad. Depends how well we organise.
Well, I've got Bessie out getting lasses collected, and I've got Wilf making sure overlookers don't train blacklegs up.
But we'll need more than that. We'll need to tell every trade unionist in Yorkshire about strike.
How the hell are we going to do that?
Leaflets. Thousands of them. We'll send some to Yorkshire miners and engineers.
Where are we going to get brass to print leaflets?
Printers Union. We'll get them to do 25,000 as their donation.
25,000, bloody hell.
Got to think big, lad. Remember, this is war. An enemy's got them all on his side. You'll soon see.
What do you mean?
Everybody. Newspapers, courts, police, magistrates, liberals, church even.
But I thought that Liberals were against Tories like this and more for working man.
All Liberals is for is the sense. Not but Tories without big boots on.
So it's going to be us versus them.
Aye, lad. Haven't it had to come? But at least gloves are off now. We'd best get down to fight. I think it's going to be a good one. Now then, lad.
Good to see you, Ben. It's been weeks. How'd it go in Scotland?
Grand, lad, grand. Raised over £500.
500? Bloody hell, that's incredible.
Scottish miners and weavers know all about solidarity, lad, I'll tell you.
Aye, brass is still flying in from Yorkshire miners, you know. Hey, the one young collier that taken with Bessie, he followed her all the way back from Barnsley.
Bet that didn't please Wilf too much.
Well, not at first, but ended up his sort of funny side of it. Ended up in pub and the partying best of mates.
You never know what's going to happen in a strike, do you?
You know, Lancashire's been good as well. Processions on Thursday, still pulling them in.
Good. That's important for morale, is that? Stops them feeling isolated.
Aye, concerts at Star doing really well. I never knew we had that much talent.
It's only when they've got time it comes out.
Ah, well, I think you've only got to see women to know that.
They've worked wonders. What with money they've raised in the soup kitchen. I don't know how we'd have managed without them.
Ah, well, you won't. All that talent that Union's been missing.
Never again. The Union will never be the same after this strike, I'll tell you.
Now, it's not just here. We've had donations from Leeds Tailoresses Union, French, German, American trade unions.
International Brotherhood. The hope of the world.
We've had brass from places I never knew existed.
Aye. Well, is it enough?
Well, paying £7 a week.
Yeah. Well, the more that come out and get laid off, the harder it is to look after everybody.
Vince, they've sacked us, all overlookers.
You what? What for?
Refusing to trade scabs he's brought in.
Good on you, lad.
Hey, I see what you mean now, Ben. Strike funds. By my reckoning, we've over 4,000 out on strike now. That's going to be over £1,000 a week.
Aye. And it'd have been worse if it hadn't been for them that's moved away to get jobs.
Take some bloody raising, though.
Have you seen this?
What? Seen what, Bessie?
Today's Yorkshire Evening Post.
That Tory rag.
These inarticulate vagabonds who call themselves strike leaders are misappropriating funds for drink whilst the women collecting fur-lined cloaks and fur-trimmed jackets with long bows that sweep to the ground.
Damn bloody lines.
Aye, only women in Manningham as wear fur coats are them that have no knickers under them.
See.
So, looks as though propaganda wars, that's enough then, eh?
What are we going to do?
Demonstrate. We'll show them that we're not drunks or floozies. We'll make it biggest this town's ever seen.
Right, what day are we going to organise it then, Ben?
A Sunday, so we get biggest turnout from the entire region.
Let's get best speakers and all.
I'll get Ben Tillett and Tom Maguire.
What about Fred Jowett?
Right, we'll need some local talent there.
Right then, 2 o'clock on Sunday. We'll need some posters and chalkers and some bellmen.
I'll get that sorted out. Leave it with me.
Right then, let's get moving.
Ah, Mr. Skidmore. With a view to attend us. You know Mr. Wrightsack, I take it?
Yes, we've met.
Good. Sit down, won't you? Now, about this demonstration.
On this Sunday?
Precisely. I want it banned.
Why, been no trouble so far?
That is exactly why I want it banned. You see, as long as this remains an industrial dispute, and relatively peaceful, and when trade returns to normal, all will be forgiven. But we have evidence that this strike is now being used to foment political discontent by extreme elements.
Have you been God?
Yes, the people who are assisting the strikers are widely known as malcontents. And furthermore, they have invited well-known revolutionaries to speak at this very demonstration.
The devil, sir, who are they?
Ben Tillett, who is a violent man, and Tom Maguire, a Fenian revolutionist.
In Bradford? That's fiendish.
This is why they must be stopped, and this strike ended before it threatens us all.
Yes, but how?
You must use your powers as Chief Magistrate and Chairman of the Watch Committee to ban all public demonstrations.
Do I have the right?
We will give you the right.
What would you mean by we?
Well, the employers of this city who pay most of the rates. And employ the workers.
Yes, but we are supposed to represent all of the electorate, not any particular group.
In theory, my dear Skidmore, in theory. But I think you know who effectively runs this town.
Well, yes, but...
If the owners of capital are to be subjected to the mob, they may well look elsewhere to invest.
Which would leave the council in a pretty mess, with all the extra relief to fund.
Why?
I think I understand, gentlemen. What do you speak to do?
Splendid, my dear Skidmore. I knew we could count on your cooperation. Now, about this demonstration.
So, the Watch Committee of our beloved council has decreed that all public processions are banned, as are all public meetings on licensed premises.
But why? We haven't been causing any trouble.
Aye, only to Lister, but that's enough.
According to Chief Constable, meetings were a fire hazard.
Rubbish. What about when pubs are full at weekend?
But he went on to say there were blasphemous references and derogatory remarks about the Chief Magistrate, Mr. Skidmore.
Be more than blasphemy if I got hold of him.
Aye, what does he expect when we're getting arrested for talking to scabs on the street?
Aye. Young lasses of 17, being arrested for intimidating unking coppers.
Aye, then there's unemployed but refuses to scab, been denied relief by guardians.
Aye, it's nothing but blackmail.
Well, now you're seeing what liberals are really like. When it comes to a clash between classes, they'll back bosses every time.
What we need is our own party.
I think some are seeing that now.
Well, that may be. But what we're going to do about Sunday's procession now they banned it?
Well, we'll just have to call it off.
No! We back down on this, we're finished. This is a bigger issue than strike.
How do you mean bigger than strike?
This is about basic right to assemble and speak. It could be just what we're looking for. The chance of spreading strike, making it a political issue.
Shouldn't we try to keep politics out of it?
Don't be so bloody soft, will you? Sometimes I think you've Jellyford aspired Wolf Armitage.
She's right, Will. Gaffers are very political now.
We've got no choice. We've got to go ahead with Sunday, and make it bigger. Get national speakers and national coverage.
But Ben, that'll mean breaking law.
What's more important, Willie, law or justice? They're abusing law to deny us justice, so we're entitled to ignore their law to secure justice.
Don't know. I don't know what Trades Council will say about that.
Well, we'll just have to remind them, if Tolpuddle Martyrs haven't broken law, there won't be a Trades Council.
Look, what if they try and stop us with force?
That's why we need a massive turnout, so we outnumber them by so many, they won't dare use force.
And what if we do?
Every battle needs its martyrs.
Well, as long as we get a chance to take a few blue bottles with us.
What, like that one they caught in pub other night?
Aye, the one that parade naked, round pubs collecting, in his helmet.
Yeah, it'll be a long time before he shows his face again.
Aye, or not else.
Pissy.
Seriously though, we've got to get weaving. We've got a lot of work to do before Sunday. We've got to spread word all over.
Well, I've got my reservations, but I've come with you this far. I'm not bound to leave you now.
Well said, Willie. Come on, let's get down to business. Over here, come on, Ben's due to speak next.
Oh, Vince, there's so many people, I'm frightened.
Don't worry, there are people, there's nobody going to get hurt.
Aye, blue bottles are frightened to death.
Hey, look, there's Ben there now.
Comrades, friends, this is a magnificent demonstration. What a reply to the Chief Constable and the Watch Committee. They thought they could deny us the freedom to march, the freedom to air our grievances in our own town. Well, today, they've had their answer. This town doesn't belong to Sam Lister or his lackeys on the council. It belongs to us, the ordinary people who built it. It wasn't Milligan or Lister who built Bradford. They never struck a bat. It was the ordinary workers who created the wealth by their labour, and by their labour built this town. Therefore, we own the streets and not the Watch Committee. This battle started when Lister cut his workers' wages, then locked them out. But now it's developed into a battle for free speech and political rights. The political parties are trying to deny us, the ordinary people, a political voice, as well as basic civil rights. Well, I've got a message for them. Those rights were not granted by gracious gentlemen sitting in mansions. They were won by the blood and sacrifice of our forefathers. And if it needs blood and sacrifice to keep those rights, then our generation will not be found wanting. The fight now is not just between Lister and his workers, but between the classes against the masses. We can't expect anything from the large mill owners, for haven't we seen the combined opposition from both parties in the House and outside to the new Factory Act before Parliament? Have we not seen how the Liberals on the Council have backed Lister the Tory in this struggle? Charlie Glyde, the Secretary of the Gas Workers, said last week, we've had two parties in the past, the can'ts and the won'ts. It's about time we had a party that will! In the meantime, this meeting should call for the full restoration of the right of public assembly and free speech.
Vote! Vote!
Vote! Vote! Vote! All right, you've called for a vote. We'll have that vote. All those in favour? I declare the resolution to be carried unanimously.
Hey, what's that blue bottle saying to Ben?
I don't know, but Ben's shaking his head.
They're pulling him off platform!
Stop him taking Ben! Wait, Vince! Look! Soldiers!
Are we being extra? Oh, Vince, let's get out of here, I'm scared!
Don't worry, love, it'll be all right. Come on, let's head for Edgar. There's more of them, they're everywhere.
Oh, Vince!
Come on.
Oh, God, Vince, they're charging! Oh, ah!
lass. How is she?
Taking it very hard, poor kid.
How's Vince?
He's in a daze. He doesn't seem to know what day it is.
Been like that since funeral.
Well, it's hard to lose your firstborn, but at least they're young enough to have some more.
Aye, I suppose he's always. You any keeps bed?
Nah, never had time. What with politics and all. Besides, what lads would look at me?
That's something that don't seem to be enough for these days. Time.
Aye. Seems there's more to do and less of us to do it.
4 months is a long time to be that.
I don't know how much longer we can go on.
As long as it takes, that's how long.
Somebody's talking about spinners going back.
That bloody lot, they've only been out a month.
All got your commitment, lass.
Things are getting harder all the time. Some of the shops can't even afford to get credit anymore.
2 or 3 have gone bust already.
Weather aren't helped either.
Worst winter I can remember.
Some of the families are really starving.
Do you think it's time to call it off?
Happened so.
No, I'll not go crawling back to Lister. We've been out too long and suffered too much for that.
But Bessie, how much longer can we go on? Listen, he's sat in his bloody mansion. He don't care about kids starving in the street.
Or dying on the street?
Poor little Ernest.
Don't worry, look. At least he's out of all this.
Rabble Lister and all his bloody soldiers. How can you talk about going back?
Because there comes a time when you've got to admit your beat. There's no disgrace in that. Only disgrace is not fighting in first place.
Do you think we're beat then?
After 4 months of freezing weather, no poor relief from guardians, being battered with police and threatened with bailiffs. Aye, I think we're beat. We'll give 'em hell of a fight.
Well, I'm not giving in. There must be other ways to fight.
Gosh, Bessie, you're still upset over Ben.
Not just him. I'm upset about all Bairns that'll never get a chance to live while people like Lister rule. All people that'll be crushed just to make profits for him and his kind.
So what are you going to do, Bessie?
I'm not right sure then, but there must be somewhere we can fight them and win. What did that mate of yours say?
Jack?
A party that will. Aye, and that's what we need, a party that will.
So are you going to go into politics then, are you?
And why not? It's about time women's voice were heard. We might get some sense taught then.
Well, you're not on your own there. There's that last Margaret Macmillan. She's dead keen.
Yeah, but women have never done out before.
Well, this strike's changed all that, hasn't it? We've gone out and raised over £11,000. Aye, and stood up to coppers and bully boys. We've shown we can do it.
Aye. Well, you've earned your political spurs.
Aye, and now we're going to use them. First thing is, get all women in union. Then we'll see some action.
Bloody hell. I can see Lister wishing he'd lost this strike before long.
Aye. And he's not the only one either.
So, what have they decided?
Well, after Spinners decided to go back, there wasn't really much fight left, so they voted to go back tomorrow.
We've lost then.
Aye, we've lost.
We're all for no. All for bloody nothing.
At least we fought, Vince.
And for what? Lister had us beat right from start. Outthought us all the way.
Remember though, he had them all on his side.
Remember? I'll remember them soldiers till day I die.
Calm down, Vince, I know it's hard.
Hard? It's like a rock inside of me that's turning and turning all the time. There's no pain like it, except that pain he's gonna get.
We'll get his revenge one day.
I'll make sure we do. I'm gonna work night and day to beat these bastards.
That's how we all feel.
I vow on little earnest soul that I'll organise and fight till day I die. Till we take stick out of their hands and start beating them for a change. Our time will come. One day we'll be the masters. And just you wait, Lister. Just you wait and see!
Well, here's to you, my dear Exert, the architect of our victory.
To our victory.
And now, we must develop a similar strategy to defeat our rivals.
We'll never be in a stronger position to do so.
Yes, stock sold, cleared and no wages paid for 4 months. The workforce subdued and starving. Willing to work any hours for what we are willing to pay them. Splendid.
The Union militants discredited. Be a long time before they recover, I think.
Yes, well, took to steel did them.
Perhaps now is the time to bar the Union altogether.
Oh, no, I think not. There are still good men of moderation that can influence, and we must not be seen to be vindictive.
You are right, as always, sir. You know your men.
So must you, Rucksack. How can we lead unless we can ensure that they will follow?
Whilst there are men like you, sir, they will always follow.
Oh, don't fool yourself, Rucksack. My time is past. And I think those people know it in their own uninformed way.
Past? You mean? I don't understand, sir. I don't understand.
Well, before I introduced it, trade, I knew very little about textiles. Yet within 3 years, through hard work and good fortune, I did what the whole industry and a host of inventors have failed to do in 50 years. Later, as you know, I turned my attention to the silk trade, developed further inventions. One of the results is this mill, the biggest silk mill in Europe. Where is a man in England or the world who can say spend £600,000 on developing new ideas? But I can.
I know of no other, sir.
Ah, but that was all long ago. When an individual with an idea can set up and prosper. Now it's all combinations. Professional men doing the work. They're accountants. Oh, my time is past. I'll be glad to be out of it.
Out of it? You mean retire?
Yes, to my country estates. I'll ride to the hounds, attend country balls with my wife and daughters, and be thoroughly bored.
Bored? Then why?
Because I'm an anachronism. Don't you see? This was one of the last battles between an individual and his workers. And thank God I won it.
I don't understand, sir. I don't understand.
No, you don't, Rucksack. Because you don't understand the English worker. You see, one of the reasons we've been able to maintain control is because, even though we paid our workers very little, we made them feel part of the greatest empire this world has ever seen. Made them feel great. Not the insignificant little things really were. Oh, but now it's all falling apart. Dream has ended, and with it, they're all the people like me.
Surely not, sir.
That's true, Rucksack. Look at the rise of the United States and Germany. They'll be the new masters. And our workers, once they see our feet of clay, will throw up their own leaders to challenge what was once thought to be invincible. No, we're feeling, Rucksack. We've won a very hollow victory.
How's things at mill, lads? Rough. Gaffers are strutting around like prize fighters. They talk to us like we were doing.
Yeah, at least they're not trying to touch you up all the time.
If I catch any of them trying it on me up,
Don't you worry. Lasses can look after their sons now. They stick together since the All Joint Union.
We'll live to fight again.
We've known the Corporate Union Office. 5,000 new members in Bradford, 10,000 in West Riding.
Aye. Be ready for them next time.
And if we get politics sorted out.
Well, let's get on with it then. That's what we're come for.
Right. Come to order, please. The subject of tonight's discussion is independent Labour representation in this town, and in particular, the forthcoming by-election in Manningham ward. I'd like to introduce Ben Turner to address the meeting.
Thank you, comrades. Comrades, if the recent strike taught us anything at all, it taught us the necessity of having our own independent Labour councillors in the town hall. We saw that the Liberals were just as bad as the Tories when it came to supporting Lister and attacking our brothers and sisters. Therefore, the days of trade unions backing Liberals has gone, in my opinion.
are they always back? I mean, Biles, he gives us a fair reading, and he's a Liberal.
Aye, so he can sell his papers.
Nay, Bessie, I think Biles is an honourable man, even if he ain't one of us.
Honourable? There's none of them honourable. They'll piss in the same pot at end of the day, don't they?
Aye, you're right there, Vince.
Now then, Vince, we all understand you're feeling bitter.
Do you? Do you? Do you know what it's like to come home on a night? Find a wife nursing an empty blanket and crying? Do you? Do you?
Never mind, lad. She'll get over it. There'll be others, you'll see.
You're right, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
It's all right, man. You all understand what you're going through.
After all, that's what we're here for. To make sure it doesn't happen again.
It's not just individuals. It's all kids and all the futures. It's our class.
Aye. Slum landlords in Bradford have killed more kids than Herod did in Bethlehem.
Well, we'll put a stop to that. What we need is decent, cheap housing, owned and maintained by council.
Aye, an end to private landlord.
Yeah, but our kids are going to go on when they've got to work part-time in mill and then go to school as well.
Aye, poor little buggers. They're exhausted by the time they get to school.
We'll make that one of us first demands. An end to part-time working and a maximum 8 hours a day for everybody.
Aye, and no piecework or overtime either. That's how young bugger Lister beat us last time.
Yeah, get that down.
And unemployed. Remember how we used them as scabs? They got decent work provided, then gaffers couldn't employ them as scabs.
Aye, gaffers use them as a reserve army to keep wages down.
For all this leisure time we'd have, it's no good unless we have all kids properly educated. That means free education for all kids. Aye, right through to university.
What? Our kids go to university? Don't be bloody daft.
And why not? We're as good as them, aren't we?
Aye, it's only money who sends their kids to posh schools and universities.
And certainly in brains. You've only got to look at Lister's son to say that.
Ah, you're right there. What a little milksop.
Here, he were playing outside mill once, with his little sailor suit on. He had his whistle on a lanyard and all. Some of the kids got hold of him. He ended up with no pants on and a whistle up his arse.
Well, that's what I call a redistribution of wealth with a vengeance.
Maybe we should do that with all of them.
That's what socialism means, lad.
What? Should we whistles up bosses' arses?
Where's he getting good?
Oh, shut up, you big Jessie. I'm on having a bit of fun.
Seriously, we've got to have a programme that looks after sick, disabled and old uns as well.
Right, get rid of workhouse.
Yeah, that's no way to end your time after you work 50 years or more.
Look, I agree with all that's been said, but how are we going to pay for it?
Only one way. Tax on earned income.
What? You mean like Lister's dividends?
Aye. Hit coupon clippers that stop at home and never strike a bat.
Well, we do all bloody sweating for them.
Well, I'm all in favour of that.
Well, you aren't going to let us do that.
Not without a fight, they're not, you're right.
That's why we need a National Party of Labour at end of the day. This is only a beginning for us.
What we'll need is a national programme to take factories and land off them. Without that, we can't plant economy in a note.
But who's going to run them?
Same folk just runs them now. Workers.
You see, people like Lister were useful ones. When it came to inventing things, setting mills up. But now, we don't need them. We can run stuff as sent.
You still need gaffers.
Why, they're not the parasites.
Well, that's right in a way. We still need managers, but they can be elected by workers. Might even pay them a little bit more, but not like now where they get twice as much.
But who don't banks and such like?
We would. We'd have to take them over as well to fund investment. Better than letting them rob us like they do now.
So what you're saying is we're going to have to take over everything.
We're not on about every corner shop, just big uns like Lister's.
Sounds all right to me.
All right. What we're going to call the Sens then?
Well, how about Bradford Socialist Union?
I think union votes are important because we want support at unions, but I'm not sure enough folk know what socialism means yet. What about Labour?
I think Willie's right there. Bradford Labour Union. Sounds all right, doesn't it?
Sounds good, does that?
Comrades, if we're all agreed on name and the principles as outlined, I now declare this to be the founding meeting of the Bradford Labour Union.
Comrades, please, come to order. I'd like to welcome you to this, the founding conference of the Independent Labour Party. We have delegates from London, the Midlands, Lancashire, Scotland and Yorkshire, and well-known socialists such as Edward Aveling, Keir Hardy, Robert Blatchford and George Bernard Shaw present here today. We also have a letter of support from Frederick Engels, who cannot join us due to ill health. I think it would be appropriate if I began the proceedings by reading from that letter. The rush to socialism in the industrial centres of the North has become so great that this new party, right at the first Congress, has appeared stronger than the Social Democratic Federation and the Fabian Society, if not both together. With the masses of the members making sound policy, the weight will lie in the provinces and not in London, the centre of cliques. Let me congratulate Bradford on their progress. A little more than a year ago, we were told that the Bradford Labour Party consisted of 7 men.
And 1 woman.
Ah, yes. It is now one of the strongest local organisations in Britain. if all other towns were as far advanced as Bradford, then the Labour cause would be as good as won. Best wishes for your Congress. Yours fraternally, Frederick Engels. 18 months ago, 5 people gathered in a room in this town, licking their wounds after the defeat of the Manningham Mills strike. We decided that night to set up a party of Labour, a party that would take on the might of capital, as Charlie Glyde called it, a party that will. Bradford Labour Union became that party. In November 1891, there was a by-election in the Manningham ward. We nominated Len Robinson to fight the seat. The Tories and Liberals declined to fight. We won by a walkover. Even better was to come. In the local elections in 1892, Fred Jowett became our first Labour councillor elected in a contest.
Good old Fred, come on, Fred.
And we look forward to others joining them on council in the near future. We now have 3,000 members in Bradford, with 23 Labour clubs where, for a penny a week, the members receive lectures, as well as sports and entertainment. And whilst we have no civic dignitaries to give welcome, those 3,000 members will invite you to tea on Saturday, which is the nearest we can give you in the shape of a feed. But now, I would like to introduce you to our first speaker, Mr. James Keir Hardy.
This is a momentous occasion. All eyes are turned towards Bradford. The party politicians are looking on and looking longingly in the hope of seeing the apple of discord embedded in your midst. But behind us are the wailing, voiceless millions whom we specially represent. Labour is the expression of a great principle: the development of the workers to be arbiters of their own destiny. The demand of the Labour Party is for economic freedom, the natural outcome of political enfranchisement. The aim of the Labour movement is to divert the workers' attention away from questions of reform, no matter how important they may be, and to concentrate their efforts on how to restore to the working classes the capital and the land, without which they cannot live. This is a new party of the intelligent, respectable working man, the trade unionist of the new Labour clubs. They're no politicians for politics' sake. They are the working class in earnest. Product of the new education, the new franchise. And we mean to take the whips out of the hands of those who've been beating us. Aye, and maybe give them a few licks back. Now, in talking to the delegates, I notice with much delight an aversion to rhetoric, a contempt for the press, an unqualified hostility to both old parties, but a praiseworthy eagerness to go forward with the business, and an intense anxiety to uphold the unity and friendliness of the new party.